Will Las Vegas real estate go down? Are we poised for a downtrend in Las Vegas, Nevada? Answers in this month's Robnostication coming right at you, right on the other side. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Let's get to it. Hey, what's happening? I am Rob Howe with Elite Realty. I'm going to tell you that really quick because I know you're coming to Las Vegas, Nevada, and you will need a realtor. You need one that knows what's happening, and I hope to help you right now, whether you use me or not, with what I have to talk about today in this Robnostication for May to June 2024, folks. It's getting a little wild out there, and I want to tell you how we got here. So if you're a buyer or a seller, this information is imperative for you to know. So let's jump right into it. I want to jump into the median prices because this week, when this comes out, the median price for Las Vegas will have come out from, let's see, April to May. So we'll know what that median price is after this video's come out. But I'm going to give you a Robnostication before that video comes out. So how did we get here? From January to February, median price went up by $15,000 to $460,000. Okay, that was a huge jump, and we saw a lot of activity. We saw the rates were coming down at that time, interest rates, which I'll get to, by the way. I've got some Robnostication for you there. And, we saw that big jump, and there was 1.8 months of supply. So supply, inventory has a big part to play in this, because it's not necessarily the volume of real estate that's selling, it's the inventory in which there's so little that is not able to handle the volume that is there. Okay, so then we went to March. All right, March, it went up by another 5,000. So the median price jumped 20,000 since January to March. Okay, so now what's going to happen for April? I believe this will be a Robnostication coming at you. I think we are going to go up. I'm going to call it 467K, 467,000. That's where I think it's going to be at. It will go up a little bit. And I also think that even though March inventory on months of supply, it went to 1.6. And April, this next one, I think we'll actually see a little higher. It'll either stay flat or go up to 1.7. So I'm calling it 1.7 months of supply. These are traditionally low numbers, but I'm going to stop saying that at some point very soon, because as long as the market continues the way it has been, this is now the way the market is. Okay, it's not a special circumstance anymore. And that's what we might want to prepare for going ahead. I'm going to tell you one last thing about the median price before I move on to my next Robnostication. Hidden in the median price are seller paid closing costs. Okay, this is really important to understand, because what's happening is sellers are getting their price, if not a little bit more, because they're also paying costs to the buyer. They're paying seller paid costs to the buyer. You as a buyer need to know that. It's not going to be every house and not every area that is going to allow for you to get these types of incentives in your sale, but you should be looking for them if you can. And that's why it's important to have somebody that understands that on your side. Look, I'm not going to buy right now, if it's me, if I don't get a good deal on the price of the house, or if I don't get seller paid closing costs. There are exceptions to that, because if I want to buy in Summerlin, like I probably would actually, maybe I have to take those and put them in the back seat and not expect as much depending on the property and area in Summerlin. Okay, Summerlin happens to be the strongest area in all of Las Vegas. So if you happen to be looking there, well, that's your story, but there's a reason for it. Summerlin, very strong, awesome area. I love it. All right. So now moving on, I'm going to go into why price decreases are on the rise. Price decreases, a lot of them. There was like 600 of them the week before this will come out. In the last week of April, like 600 price decreases in the last week of April. This trend will continue, because what's happening is people are not buying overpriced properties or properties that need work. And that obviously, if it needs work and it's not priced right, then it's overpriced. Okay, and people just aren't able to do that. They're already going in with as much money as they have to get the property, as much money as they can to get the property going, and they don't want to feel like they've got to buy the house at top dollar and then fix it up. Unless it's one of those exception properties that might be in, Summerlin. Yeah, Summerlin's hot. But not everywhere in this town is the same as Summerlin, and some areas are having much more struggle to sell properties. It's not that they won't sell, because everything sells at the right price. It's just that sellers haven't come to terms with where those prices need to be. They do need to be lower than where they're at. All right, folks. Now, this is going to be the Robnostication. This trend of price decreases will continue. Price decreases on the rise will continue. Of course, we always have some price decreases because we always have sellers that overprice their property and then decide to change the price. But this trend of having more of them will continue. All right. Now, sellers, this is a big Robnostication for you. You need to get your property on the market ASAP, as soon as possible, because what I believe is about to happen is that we are not going to see these median prices continue to rise month over month. This may be the last time I'm telling you that there's a increase in the median price. Maybe one more, maybe June to July, but I really think it's going to start changing in the summer just by a little bit, and we won't see the same inertia that's happened into the spring. That's partially because of rates, but sellers, if inventory continues to rise, we will not see any higher median prices than we have now for quite some time. So you need to get your property on the market. If rates are going to stay high, it's going to continue to put pressure on buyers and you as a seller, because you're not going to be able to get the top dollar out of that property, that you'd like to get, unless you do it very quickly. This is a Robnostication. Inventory will rise. It is going to rise as the year goes along. I just, do not think that that's going to change. I think that we're going to see that as long as these interest rates are not being changed, which right now, here's another Robnostication, rates won't change maybe for the entire year by the Fed. Okay? And if they do, it'll be one rate change, and that one rate change will be relatively insignificant, because it's just not going to bring enough power to the buyer to really get their rates lower and help them too much. It'll help a little, but it's not going to be like enough to really stave off if there's inventory coming on. And even in Las Vegas, where we are very, very popular and there's a high demand, well, this is what I'm saying. Now, inventory piling up here is not going to look the same as some other areas of the country. I think it's still going to be a relatively good market overall, relatively healthy, low volume, but that's sort of the trouble. If you've got more inventory coming on and you've still got low volume, not a lot of people, buyers are going to be more and more picky. Properties are going to sit a little bit longer. So yeah, get your property on the market, and that way you don't have to worry about what's happening with rates. There really is no drop in rates in sight as far as I'm concerned. Now, if it was up to Las Vegas alone, rates would be going up. And I've said that on many videos, but not the entire country is like Las Vegas. All right, so I'm just going to end this video by saying, buyers, if you don't like the idea of negotiating now in a hotter selling market, later in the year may be prime time for you. It generally is. It's pretty much a known thing that towards the end of the year, that's when you're going to see builders give their best deals, and you're also looking at sellers that have to sell because that's why they're on the market at that time, and you may be looking at a better time to buy a property. Now, there could be, again, a little bit more inventory to choose from by that time. So yeah, if you're flexible and don't have to buy now, don't want to have to negotiate in this current climate, well, you might have some more power as the year goes on. And that's a Robnostication for you. Hey, everyone, I hope you have enjoyed what I have to give to you today. This information, I find it to be very valuable. If I was out there buying, I'd want to know these items most importantly, and especially what's coming. What's coming next? Is 2025 going to be better for you as a seller? I'm concerned about that, and that's why I'm going to continue to tell you what I see coming, because I am thinking that maybe it's not going to be the greatest year for real estate. We're in election year right now. Not a bad year. Always a good year in election year. What's going to happen after the election? This is what I'm going to talk about more. So if you enjoy this, there's more to come. Please subscribe to the channel. And remember, I'm Rob Howe. I'm all about houses and you. So when you're ready to buy in Las Vegas, Nevada, or sell in Las Vegas, Nevada, now you know how, folks. And I will see you on the next video. Last thing I need you to do, have a great day.